Obama wants to realign America in the world.
Hello, I'm Kathy Taylor. I'm the editor of Human Events, and I'm here with Dinesh D'Souza. He is the president of King's College in New York, and he is also the author of a new book, Obama's America. It is his second book on Obama, and the first one was The Roots of Obama's Rage. So welcome, Dinesh. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Great. You know, I read the book and many different theories, and what I particularly liked about it was that you didn't pick a label and then try and fill in the blanks behind it, like he is a social democrat or he is a socialist. You looked at him holistically and his past, and then out of that, you drew a portrait of where he is and where he's going. And one concept that was really interesting was this idea of to sum up his philosophy, it would be two words, Little America. When one aspires to be Little America, what does that mean, Dinesh?
Little America. It's in a way a startling idea, and it's an especially startling idea to have the President of the United States advocating it, right? You wouldn't be so surprised to find some guy in Brazil or in Russia saying, I'd like to see America shrunken. And by shrunken here, we mean shrunken economically, and shrunken as a force in the world. So shrunken militarily, shrunken economically, a smaller player on the world scene. Now, the reason the economic factor is important is that one reason America is a superpower is because we have a big economy. If America was a poor country, we would cease to be a superpower. So Obama would like to see, I believe, America stop being the world's number one and just be one country at the great, if you will, dining table of nations, maybe number 37 in the world, maybe number 65. And as I say, it's a very odd notion that our leader would actually aspire to these goals. They're not the accidental results of his policies. They are the intended goals that he has set for himself.
And is the end game to be more redistributionist in our wealth? Is that the point, that everybody, that the tide rises for nations around the world? Is that his end goal?
Obama is a global redistributionist. You know, most Democrats want to redistribute money in America, and Obama wants to realign America in the world. Now, when we often hear about the 1%, the 99%, Occupy Wall Street, those guys are thinking, okay, well, in America we've got the 1%, and then all of us, ordinary people, we're the 99%. But the moment you take the lens out of the camera and put in a global lens, then you're rich, and I'm rich. Even lower middle class, even poor Americans are rich by world standards. So if Obama is thinking about the global landscape, then all Americans have to pay, just about. Because what Obama's trying to do is, in a sense, right the ship of the world that he thinks has been wrong side up for 500 years. Ever since Columbus, the era of colonialism, he sees Western civilization as having illegitimately come on the top, and America now being at the head of that. So Obama's goal is a massively interesting and important one. He basically wants to put the world back the way it was in the year 1500, when the West was not a superpower, and there were many powers around the world. And he's doing this without nuclear weapons. He's redistributing wealth away from America. Look at the way he's withdrawing American influence from the Middle East. He's almost deliberately supporting America's enemies and undermining our allies. Mubarak, our closest ally in the region apart from Israel, out. Gaddafi doing business with America, out. Meanwhile, Obama will not use military force to get rid of Assad. Assad's our enemy. He didn't want to support the pro-democracy movement in Iran. Iran is our enemy. So you've got a weird double standard in which Obama treats our enemies in the Middle East better than our friends.
And you think this explains it, that his grander plan is to level out the world and look at America as the 1%.
Yeah, you know, you can test a theory by always looking at alternative explanations. So Obama, for example, blocks oil drilling in America. And there's an explanation. Obama's an environmentalist. He's another Al Gore. But see, Al Gore wants everybody in the world to use less because the global human carbon footprint is too big. He'd like to see the Chinese do less and the Indians do less. But that's not Obama. Obama's blocking oil drilling in America, but sending taxpayer money to Brazil and Mexico and Colombia. You guys drill. And not so that you can drill in dangerous territory and sell us the oil. No, you keep the oil. You sell to the Chinese if you want. We'll buy from you. So the bottom line of it is that Obama is wants to enrich the previously colonized countries at the expense of the colonized.
And-
The environmental theory doesn't work.
This is one of the themes in your book, the anti-colonialism that drives his thinking, and say a little bit more about that.
The anti-colonialism, and it's such a bit of an alien word in America,
It is.
right? I mean, even though originally America was an anti-colonial country, going back to our independence from the British. But the core idea of anti-colonialism is very simple. It's the idea that people gain wealth, not by earning it, not by inventing stuff, not by merit, but by theft. So the anti-colonial assumption is, look, how did Britain and France and Germany become rich? They invaded and occupied and looted all these other countries. And by extension, how do people in a country become rich? They rip off everybody else. Now notice Obama's recent comment where he says to business guys, hey, listen, you didn't build that. What's he saying? He's saying society did it. And yet you're skimming off the top. Society created this wealth, and you are illegitimately usurping it. So we, the government, have every right to confiscate it. So right here you see this underlying assumption, the same assumption in anti-colonialism, that wealth is the result of usurpation, piracy, and theft.